Video, I'm going to show you guys how to replace both these taillights and on the other side too. If you guys just want to get to a particular turn signal or a particular brake light bulb, I'll also show you that, and how to replace reverse light bulb too. All right. Okay, first thing you want to do to remove this taillight, the big one, is remove 1, 2, 3 these clips right here. Just take a flathead screwdriver, or if you have your own plying tool, that works too. Stick it in, pull it out. So you also want to remove this big clip right here. Where the hell is it? Okay, so to remove this light, the bolts are actually inside right here. So you're gonna want to remove some of the liner. These two bolts right here, 1 and 2. Those are 2 bolts that you're gonna want to remove to get the actual light off. And you see that connection right there? That's the connection to remove if you actually want to replace the taillight. But if you're not gonna replace the whole taillight, like if you just want to get to the turn signal or a particular brake light bulb, then don't remove the connection, obviously. But that's the connection to remove if you actually want to swap out these taillights. Okay, so these are the 2 bolts that, again, you have to remove to get the taillight off. 8mm socket works just as well. I have a 8mm Husky wrench. Just want to pull it in left until it's basically, you can just screw them off with your finger. You don't want to take them all the way off, because if you take them all the way off, when you try to pull the taillight off, taillight actually might just fall on the ground and break. So you want to leave it to about right to the edge. You don't want to completely take it off, just leave it right there to the edge. Like that. You can go just to the edge, enough to where you can pop up the taillight. Okay, so now if you want to remove the taillight completely, that connection, like we said, right there, that connection, there's a little tab on the edge. I'll show you guys what tab to push when we actually put the new taillight in. But you push that tab and then pull up to remove the connection. I'll have to do it in a second. I need 2 hands to do it, but that's the connection to remove next. Now, can't really see it. Here it is. That's the light connection. So now the light does not work, it's disconnected. So we took off the bolts almost all the way. This one up in a little bit. Alright, so a trick to get off this taillight is you want to put pressure right here. So you see, you hear it moving around right here. So what I did is I put pressure right here and right here with 2 hands and just pushed, and it came off. If you did not leave the 2 bolts right there, the light would come flying off. But since we left the 2 bolts over there, right here, the light did not come off completely. So now you can remove both bolts. Make sure they don't fall into the thing. All right, there's one. There's one right there, and there's the other one. There's 2. Okay, so now the light should completely just come off. Ooh. Just like that. So now you have access to your turn signal or all of your individual brake light bulbs. Turn signal, I believe, is right here. And then your individual brake light bulbs. Okay, so that's all you have to do if you're just replacing the 2, if you're just replacing a turn signal or a brake light bulb. But if you're actually replacing the tail light completely with the new ones, remember when we disconnected the harness earlier? There's a little rubber thing that you want to pull. You get it? You want to, this thing right here. You just want to pull it through. Wiggle it. There we go. Comes right off. Okay. And this is, like I said, the connection that we took off earlier. This is the tab that you want to push right here. Like I said, I was going to show you earlier. That tab right there. You're going to want to push that. Pushes right there. And it comes off. I would suggest to wear gloves too, because body oils can damage the tail light and stuff. There we go. So this is the new tail light, the 2019. So that's the harness we just pulled out. So you're gonna want to pull the harness right there back to the hole, right there. Okay. And like I said, the harness will come through on that side. You can't see. You can't see it. But basically, you're gonna. I'll show you guys once I get it mounted back up. Go. Okay, so that rubber thing that we pulled out earlier, this thing, you want to make sure it lines back up into that hole. So once you pull the harness through, put that rubber thing back into that hole. So whenever you put the light back on, these 2 pegs right here, like I said, look, that's the suction cup thing. Make sure it's suction cup thing. That, make sure it's connected and pushed all the way together. These 2 silver pegs right here need to line up with those 2 holes right there, along with this right here. This opening right here needs to line up exactly with this. Okay, so make sure it all connects up. Okay, so that's the new light on. So now you're gonna want to put the bolts back on. Right there, those are the new. Let's grab the first one. Be careful. You want to screw them in with your finger and grab the other one. Okay, my glove was getting caught on it, but there we go. You just want to tighten it up. Basically until you can't do it with your fingers anymore, and then grab the 8mm and just tie her up. Okay, so now since the bolts are back on, you want to get the connection. Here's the, see right there? Okay, you just want to put that back in that little socket that we talked about earlier. I don't think the camera's going to be able to see it, but basically that's all you want to do. Once you've installed that light, you're just gonna want to put these clips, 1, 2, 3, and then this big one right here. Put those back on, fix the liner, and then you're basically good to go. Light. Basically just repeat everything on this side, same exact steps. Put pressure right about here, pull this way, push that way, it should come right off. And yeah. Next, I'll show you guys how to do that one, along with changing the reverse lights as well. So now to get rid of this old one, I'll also go show you guys how to see in there. This is already an LED reverse light. So if you guys are wanting to upgrade to LED, I'll show you guys how to change the bulb out. But if you're going to be replacing the whole light, this is what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to remove 2 tabs. This one would probably jump out at you. Yeah, next one. You're gonna remove that one. There's some right here. 1, 2. You don't need to remove you don't need to push this down or pull this. I mean, if you want to, you could. It'd be a little easier, but and it's, you have to put the whole liner back on. But yeah, once we remove this, I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so I removed this one, that one, some under here. Basically, and I pulled this thing over. Pull it down. Here's your connection to that bulb. So if you're gonna be removing the entire light, that's the connection that you're gonna wanna unplug. But if you just wanted to replace the reverse light, like I said, I already have LED ones. You're gonna wanna turn it counterclockwise, pull it out. That is the LED one. So if you guys just wanted to replace that, take the old one, take the old non-LED one out, put your new one in, put it back into the housing, turn it clockwise, click it into place, and you're good to go. But if you just wanna, if you wanna replace the whole thing together, the new ones that I got don't come with LED stock anyway, so I'm gonna take this one out, and when I put the new one in, I'm gonna replace the old one with the new one. Okay, so when you're removing the connection, you can use really anything. Probably a toothpick would work too, but I found this was helpful. This right here, underneath, I'll show you. That right there. That's the tab that you want to push to remove the connection. So really anything, I just found this would be useful. Push it in, pull it out. And that's the connection for the bulb. So now what you want to do is, an 8mm socket would also work on this too, but a 10mm wrench right here. So it's 10mm wrench. That works fine. 8mm, an 8mm socket works fine too. But basically, all you want to do is one, and the second one. Okay, so once you get these two off, I just noticed there's actually one in here too. That's why it wasn't coming off, this bolt right here. So same way, 10mm wrench. Pull it off with your fingers. Come right off. Okay, and after that, it should come right off. You can push right here too. There's a little bit of leverage. Quick. There we go. Comes right off. The housing back in there. Pull the connection right out. There we go. There she is. And I already took out the LED bulb. So once we put the new ones in, I'll show you guys how to switch that out too. Light. Twist this counterclockwise to open it. That's the old bulb I was telling you about. Basically, you want to pop it right out. Comes right out. Then here's the new one. Put the new one in. Right in like that. White. Put it back into the housing. Twist it clockwise. Lock it in place. There you go. She's locked up. So now you have the LED back into there. So now when you're putting the light back on, okay, so this is the connection right here. See it? See the connection? This connection right here. Stick it right through. Back on. And she should just right into place. Should line up the bolts. Right there. Alright. So now I basically just screw the bulbs back in. The LEDs right here. LED turn signal. Or reverse light, my bad. You don't want to put it in exactly the way you found it with the knob facing down. And you should hear a click. There you go. So basically now you just want to put pressure on the light on the top side, and then screw the bolts right back in. That should be it. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it's on. There we go. So now for the other side, it's basically the exact same thing. I'm not going to record it because we'll see exact same steps. Yeah, there you go. Here is the finished product. I've talked to some people who also did this upgrade, and they said that they had problems with Hyperflash. I have a 2017 model. I don't have any Hyperflash. It may be a model issue because the people that I talked to, one of them had a 2016, one of them had a 2018, and they both said that they had Hyperflash. This 2017, all good, nothing's wrong. If you do have Hyperflash, you just need to put in some resistors. That'll basically make the blinker go back to normal. Yeah. Thanks guys for watching the video. Hopefully it was helpful to some of you guys who are wanting to do this upgrade. I'll see you later. Peace.